Question number one, and this comes from YouTube, and they say that my cockapoo had bad allergies to grains, resulting in constant ear and skin infections. This is a classic case of whenever we give our dogs something that isn't biologically appropriate. And we see this all the time in our branches, and we see this all the time in our consulting calls. We see a lot of people that put a lot of effort and time into training the dog, into crate training the dog, into all sorts of things, but really do fail to understand nutrition. And they will, or you might be one of these people, you might think that what you are feeding your dog is great and the dog is itching all the time. The dog has allergies, and without you realizing, you are doing your dog a bit of a disservice because you haven't informed yourself. Grains, it depends. It depends with grains, it really does. And I'll tell you why. Because whenever we talk about grains in dog food, or whenever we talk about common allergens in dog food, it seems to be down to two things. The first one is how much, and the second one is ingredient quality. So, for example, meat meal and freshly prepared venison are two meat sources. One is meat meal, and that's unspecific, and that's not very good quality meat. And the other one is freshly prepared. So whenever we tie down the manufacturer, and whenever a manufacturer says freshly prepared this or freshly prepared that, they have to put that in the bag of dog food. But with meat meal, they can put whatever meat source they want and not tell you, and that's okay because they are not tying themselves down to a specific recipe. So that really does matter. And the second thing is how much is good enough. We see, for example, here in the UK, and I'm sure it is the same in other countries, that 4% rice is put in certain dog foods. And that is, in my opinion, okay. The first thing with rice, for the record, is that it does expand when you cook it, and you can do this at home. So you can be making a curry, put a little bit of rice, and that does, it goes 2x or 3x in certain occasions. So whenever we say 4% rice, it might be 12% rice or 14% rice at the end of the day, when the rice has been cooked and when the rice has been actually processed in the blender, as it were. But a lot of other foods will put 67%. I've seen bags of food with 67% rice and 67% brown rice, and that's just too much. So whenever we talk about allergies to grains, or whenever we vilify this or vilify that, we have to take things into account. How much are we feeding our dogs of whatever? Do dogs need grains? They don't need grains. I want to say that. I'm going to say that quite clearly. And you know where I stand on the grains train and on what to feed your dog. But if you are feeding your dog a food with 4% rice, 2% vegetables, 3% carrots, that's okay. The problem becomes when it's 40, 50, 60, 7% rice or potato, tapioca, whatever. And that does result in skin infections, like this viewer said. Thankfully, we made her watch all the videos on the channel, and it seems to me from the feedback she has gotten, she's on the right track now. So yeah, thank you very much. The second one on TikTok. I feed fresh meat and veg. It's cheaper, and my dogs live on average 18 years, and they are pugs. Yes, veg and fresh meat, wonderful stuff. Are we feeding the dogs offal? Are we feeding the dogs bone? Do the dogs have a complete meal, or do we just give the dogs chicken and veg at our discretion? And this is something that I see all the time, and we see all the time. People come in and they think, again, that they are giving the dog something that the dog needs, but they are lacking in other areas. Bear in mind again that a dog's whole prey ratios are 80-10-10, roughly. 80% lean meat, 10% offal, of which 5% is liver and 10% bone. So if you are feeding your dogs fresh meat and veg, but they lack a lot of the bone and the offal that they require in their food, in their diet, then that's only going to be detrimental to your dog's health in the long term. But it is a start. There's nothing like fresh, that's something I do tell people. There is nothing like fresh. You can buy, I don't know, whatever you can buy from your local grocery store, and if it's fresh, it goes bad very, very quickly. If you buy something canned, it might have expiry date of a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. But if you buy something fresh, if you buy fresh chicken today, in 2, 3, 4 days, that chicken is going to start to smell. And that's a very good thing, because that means that that piece of chicken is quote unquote alive nutritionally. And that's what we like. That's what we really do promote on this channel. Whereas a lot of the lower quality foods, they are kept powdered somewhere, and then they go into your dog's body, and I do not want that for your dog. So yeah, thank you for your question or statement. I made a video on feeding vegetables to dogs, and I've made videos for and I've made videos against, and with anything in the pet food industry or with regards to nutrition, moderation and seeing different angles is really, really important, and it's paramount that you see both sides of the argument and both benefits and pros and cons. So one of the comments I received was that dogs aren't vegetarian, and yes, that's correct. That's very, very true. Dogs are not vegetarian. However, we have seen a lot of dogs over the years, and the benefits of feeding the dog a bit of sweet potato, a bit of butternut squash, some seasonal berries, some oats are wonderful. I know oats aren't vegetables, but they are wonderful. I see dogs on raw dog foods with 10-15% vegetables, and the dogs look amazing. The dogs look incredible, absolutely incredible. And then their parents, for whatever reason, or because they want to, they will feed them some carrots or whatever else. And my dog doesn't eat any vegetables. I don't believe in vegetables in dog food, but I do see the benefit for some dogs in feeding vegetables. They are cheaper, they have nutrients, they are wonderful sources of vitamin, potassium, manganese. They can act as fiber, they can act as insoluble and soluble fiber. So I have nothing against people feeding vegetables to dogs. So yes, dogs aren't vegetarian. No, they're not. They have sharp canines, they have carnassial teeth, they're sharp, and those are meant to crunch meat and bone. They are not there to chew on letters, and we know that, but at the same time, vegetables are beneficial. Opinion on Royal Canin, and this was a YouTube comment that I received, and it was my opinion on Royal Canin nutrition, gastrointestinal, moderate calorie, dry cat food. Now, I will say this again, and I say this all the time, that cat food is absolutely fascinating to me, and it's fascinating and infuriating at the same time. Why? Well, dogs are carnivores. Do we agree on that? Like trout, like lions, like tigers, like wolves, they only eat meat. They don't need anything else apart from meat. And the question I always ask people is, would you feed chicken to your rabbit? Would you feed a hippo a deer? You wouldn't, would you? Why? That's not what they eat. It's not biologically appropriate for that species to eat that. But when it comes to cat food, it seems to me that a lot of these companies just put whatever the heck they want in their cat food and they sell it to you with different labels. They will say adult neutered, kitten female. I don't know. There's so many. It's hard to track. And this particular one is gastrointestinal moderate calorie dry cat food, and this is from Royal Canin. So as with everything, we always look at the ingredients and we can assess whether these ingredients are good, bad, or what the heck are they. So the first ingredient is rice, the second ingredient is dehydrated poultry protein, the third ingredient is wheat gluten, the fourth ingredient is maize gluten, then we have vegetable fibers, hydrolyzed poultry liver, animal fats, mineral, beet pulp, and egg powder, and then other nominal ingredients or additives or minerals or whatever. So the first few ingredients are all carbohydrates. They are all actually high glycemic carbohydrates. We see rice, we see wheat gluten, we see maize gluten, and then we see vegetable fibers. We see animal fats. How very interesting animal fats are. What animal do those fats come from? Or what animals do those fats come from? What do you think? I'm asking you. I don't know. Because I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Just the manufacturer. And the manufacturer is not telling you. They don't tell you. Animal fats are animal fats. And they can be from any animal in seemingly any sort of country. And what is animal fat? How is that animal fat then processed? How do they put all these animal fats together? What percentages? What percentage is chicken fat? What percentage is lamb fat? Is it single protein, single animal, or is it different animals? We don't know. They don't tell you. They will not tell you. Why? It's cheaper. It's a lot cheaper to say animal fat than lamb fat or chicken gravy or whatever. So that's my quirk with animal fats. And the rest, rice, dehydrated poultry protein, wheat gluten, maize gluten, all high glycemic carbohydrates, all impossible for cats to digest. And it's a bit of a shame, really. It's a real shame that people are led to believe something about their cat's diet that isn't true. They just cannot digest any carbohydrates whatsoever. And we are feeding a cat cat food with 20, 30, 40, 50, 60% carbohydrates. And again, would you feed your small rabbit or whatever pet you have something completely inappropriate? I don't think you would. If you have a little rabbit, you're not going to feed it slabs of beef, are you? Because they don't need it. They're herbivores. It's the same with cats. Cats are carnivores. They're obligate carnivores. They need taurine. Taurine can only be synthesized through fresh meat. So that the fresher the meat you put in your cat's body, the better the cat is going to look. The poos are going to be a lot better. The oral health is going to be a lot better. The coat is going to be a lot better. Everything is going to be a lot better. If we stop feeding our cats high glycemic carbohydrates or any carbohydrates whatsoever, I just think it's a bit infuriating. I am not going to stop saying this, and I am not going to stop telling you. Whenever it comes to cat food or dog food for that matter, ingredients and what's biologically appropriate really does matter. Really does matter. And the last segment I want to do is on insect dog food. And I said that insect food seems to be the next thing in the pet food industry. Every now and then, we will see new things pop up, new innovations in the pet food industry. And insect dog food has been around for a little bit. And I find it quite fascinating. And I have waited a few months to make a video on insect dog food because because you don't know what you don't know. So you can't just rush to, you know, conclusions very, very quickly. I think it's incumbent upon me and upon everyone to do their own research. And there seems to be a gap in the market for insect dog food. And I'll tell you why. There are so many dogs with allergies, and I've personally seen a few dogs that have come to us with extreme bouts of allergies, and they are allergic to everything animal. Every animal fat, every animal protein, chicken, reindeer, you name it, whatever. Beef, kangaroo, lamb, ostrich. And I have checked with these people and I've seen the test sheets. And those dogs obviously need protein. They need animal protein. They need those essential amino acids. They're so important for a dog's diet, but they cannot get them from animal fats. So a lot of pet parents are opting for insect dog food, which is arguably truly hypoallergenic. Hypoallergenic is meant to be something that's less likely to be or to cause an allergic reaction to your dog. So this seems to be a very good alternative. So if you have a dog that's truly, you know, sensitive when it comes to their allergies, insect dog food might be just the thing you are seeking and you are looking for. And that seems to be one of the biggest pros I've come to learn about insect dog food. But then there are so many cons, and the cons I'm going to run through very, very quickly. The dogs don't eat insects when left to their own devices. They're not part of the whole prey ratios. They're not species appropriate again. You wouldn't feed your mouse letters, so you wouldn't feed naturally ladybirds to your dog. They wouldn't just eat ladybirds, so they don't seem to fall within the whole prey ratios or something that's biologically appropriate for dogs. The second one is that they how are these insects manufactured? How are they harvested? How are they processed? That whole thing needs a look. You know, how are these insects gathered, processed, packaged, put into dog food and then into my dog? I don't know. Pesticides, chemicals. What's the quality of the insects? What do the insects eat? All these things really do matter, because at the end of the day, we know that corn-fed chicken and organic chicken, something that can roam around all day and eat worms and eat natural stuff all day, every day, that chicken is going to be a lot healthier than a chicken that has been corn-fed and fattened and put into a 2x2 box. We know that. So it's the same with insects. Where are these insects coming from? How are they processed? And there's a huge sort of problem when it comes to that. I would want to do more research when it comes to that brand of insect dog food. So that's what I mean about the pros and cons of insect dog food. And you can see the video on the channel. It's quite entertaining. I would say, if you wish to speak to us, if you have a problem with your dog or cat and you need a second opinion, an expert opinion, you can click below consultation www.thepetquarters.co.uk, tab consultation, and me or one of the members of my team will happily schedule a call and save you money, because at the end of the day, you don't know what you don't know, and I didn't know what I didn't know. But now I know, and I hope you know too. I will see you in the next one. Please click, please subscribe, please like, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.